Now there should be audio backwards. I'm talking.
We're good.
Yep.
When I
There we
switched
go.
back to the profile, it was like, audio device, fuck you.
Ha! Who needs audio? Oh, wait. Podcasters probably do,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yeah, maybe. I need to write you a launch checklist like I had to do before streaming all those years ago.
Yeah.
It was like a pre-flight checklist. I just was like, all right, I got this, 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 I got this.
No go.
Snacks.
No go.
I guess somebody should tweet it, huh?
Harlow, are you recording?
Aye. Aye. There is recording happening.
Sweet.
I can tweet it.
I am putting it on Discord. God, I love seeing Zadar just popping out of the top left corner of the preview thing every time. It's always like it makes me happy. And Steve James in like in his marine dress blues, but he's ripped the sleeves off. Just like, come at me. It's so good. And then Jim Brown just angrily snarling at all of it. Oh, those were the days when I could do fun stuff at work.
Yeah.
I miss them somewhat. Really, I can't complain about my job right now.
Sure you can.
I mean, I can, but it's really not bad. Like, it's weird. It's weird actually not hating a job.
Yeah. My job has turned kind of good.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really weird. Yeah. Like my my pay went up since I
yeah.
don't have to rely on a bonus, and I got a tiny raise, but my stress levels are way down because I don't have to look any of these people in the face.
I love your choice of words there. It's people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to look any of them in the face anymore. And
He was just pronouncing the normally silent F that is a part of people.
Yeah.
Right.
For people.
the people.
Yeah.
People.
It's like platypus or I don't know. It's just spelled weird.
Yeah. But like, yeah, not having to go into the office every day, not having to, look these chuckle fucks in the face, being able to take my time to do things that I need to take my time to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. You don't
being
always have to
empowered.
fuck them hard.
What's that?
I said you don't always have to fuck them hard.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, being empowered to tell people what they need to be told. Like, no, you need to do this way. This is your job. You go do it. It's incredible. Like, it's not the best job.
That's age.
For sure, but-
That just happens with age. Like the ability to just look at people and be like, no, you're wrong. Do it
I've
right.
been able to do that,
Yeah.
but I've not been allowed to do
Oh,
that in my position.
I see.
And Kyle, that's some bullshit.
What's some bullshit? What happened
And Kyle in the chat, like his job, like I swear to God, I would just,
Kyle, you need to burn that place down.
Yeah.
And that's legal advice.
yeah.
That's some bullshit.
And in 3 months they're going to post record profits. Like
Oh, yeah.
Every one of them. It's like, oh, we need to cut costs. We need to do all this to stay in business. And it's like literally record profits 3 months later.
Yep.
And congrats, Brian, leaving your
Hell
job 20 years. I love it.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, man. If I could help you theoretically, figuratively burn that place to the ground, I would.
I can help you literally, actually burn that place to the ground. I'll take the heat. I gotta clean.
The heat coming off the building as it
Yeah,
goes up in flames.
it's wintertime. We're just sparing some people their heating bills. And I got a clean record, so you know I can take an arson charge.
Yeah, I was gonna say who's good friends around here? We are, son.
Yeah. Let's. I gotta stay out of that one.
Yeah, you got a wife.
Oh, it's not that.
Oh, you just got priors? You got prior arson
Oh, you got-
charges?
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot when you got sent down the river for. Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, being sent down the river is the best place to go when you're on fire.
But you did. I mean, you did run the largest prostitution ring in the Southeast for like 18 months, so you have something to be proud of.
No one was forced into it.
Oh yeah, of course, no. I remember
Anyway.
they called you the good pimp.
Yes. And I just went around saying, "Do you know
Trademark.
what I am saying?"
Yeah, coming this fall on NBC.
The good pimp. Yeah. Oh man.
Starring Jude Law and Kristen Bell. It's a good pimp.
So I know Kyle sent us a question already. Brian, just letting you know in the chat there, we're doing an Ask the Movie Fiends Anything episode. So if you got a question, we'll get it in the queue because we got a bunch already. So, and do you want to talk about the Ren Fair at all, or do we just want to go straight into
sure.
question stuff? Okay,
Yeah, I'll talk about
let's
the Ren
do
Fair.
that and then do the questions. If that
Harlow,
works for
do you have
guys.
anything that you actually want to talk about, or do you just have stuff that you would talk about were there nothing else?
Well, he had stuff that he was waiting for Chuck on. But,
yeah, no,
I
I'm actually legit thinking. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Boba.
Yeah, I mean that was it.
Let's just wait till it's over.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean that was really it. I really wanted to say the words out loud of just like that they were like CG flexing.
Yeah.
To basically say, hey, fuck you, people who said we did this poorly before.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, should we get it started?
Sure.
Yes.
Let me get some lubrication on the lips here.
I'm going
Oh,
dry.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. A moment on the lips, and forever Chuck likes me better. I think is how that
One
goes.
second.
He gone. He done up and left. Oh, he back. That was quick.
I found my lube.
Oh.
Ye old lube
Oh man.
with 2 E's because they always put an extra E.
Luby's is a sandwich shop.
Thanks.
Hyper regional humor.
Luby's it up.
Yeah. All right, let's do this thing. Ah, shit, that sucked.
That's terrible.
Yeah, Miyagi would be not proud. All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Variety
hey.
Hour. Variety Hour. I don't why
How did
we started
end
that.
up doing that.
I don't know.
That was my fault.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
number 43, if you're keeping
God.
track.
Yep.
Nice.
But it's more like number 40, ask
Whee!
me anything. Because,
Great job.
yeah.
Sure.
You nailed it.
Yeah, we're doing an Ask the Movie Fiends Anything episode.
Let's introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Starting at the top.
Shit. Yeah, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
Yeah.
and what we do each and every week on the BMFcast Variety Hour.
No, we
is
don't do that.
Nothing in
There-
particular.
Yeah, there's
bullshit.
no instructions for this one.
Yeah,
Except that we
we're
are
still-
sans Chuck still, so
Yeah.
it should be noted.
and we're still locking it down, so we're on Skype and
Uh-huh.
not watching a movie together. So time to do other things we don't normally get to do. Right?
Actually, we're on Zoom.
Whatever.
We're promoting the people of China and not the people of Redmond, Washington.
We're on video chat.
And not Teams or Discord.
Right.
Anyway, things we normally don't get to do on the regular BMFcast are including among the things that we don't get to do on the regular BMFcast are talk about our weekends. In fact, we make fun
Yeah,
of
we banned that
podcasts.
talk.
Yeah,
We were told you cannot talk about your weekend ever.
exactly.
Until now.
Until now. So I'm actually going to bring something up from this weekend that I had a whole lot of fun doing. And if you're watching on the live stream, you will see behind me a bunch of people in ridiculous clothing because I went to the local Ren Fair. There's not one in the town where we live, but there is one called the Hogtown Medieval Fair that happens in Gainesville. It's just
Not Hogtown?
no, surprisingly not. No, there apparently is no place such as Hogtown.
Oh, I mean, come on. Everywhere is Hogtown if you believe it in your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
If
we're
you ride a
formerly
motorcycle.
Cowford, so yeah.
Yes.
Right. Maybe Gainesville used to be Hogtown.
I bet
don't
it
know the
probably
etymology of
was,
it.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
I've been to Hogtown.
Yeah. But yeah, so if I had ever been to Hogtown, it was when I was a wee child, too young to remember. And I have forgotten about it until like the week after it happened every year for the last like 15 years that I've wanted to go. But a work friend was going and we were talking about it a lot. So I finally remembered to go down to Ye Old Medieval Fair. And it was a fucking hoot. Like, yeah, I mean, I knew I would enjoy it, but I didn't know that on one of the coldest days of the year, I would have an absolute blast. I didn't dress up or anything because I don't have any, good cloaks. So, I don't want to show up in the ratty ones. But yeah, there was jousting, which was
Sweet.
it was the WWE of jousting, sort of.
Whoa.
Like, not that they had like pyro and a ring or anything, but it was all like orchestrated and very sports entertainment-y.
Well, I mean, I would think that you kind of have to have a little bit of pre-planning if you're going to ride two horses with a piece of stick at each other.
Yeah, but I know they still do in some places like legitimate competitive jousting, and this was definitely not that. Like, dudes were not giving it their all. They were trying to make it look good, and it did. It looked awesome. They had like breakaway lances, and they had two like absolutely beautiful, huge horses. It was super cool. Like, one of them was like this massive draft horse looking thing. I don't know what kind of horse it is. I don't know shit about horses. But it
Call
was
that an evil horse.
yeah, it was I mean,
There's Clydesdales and everything else.
right.
Yeah.
Quarter horses.
No, there's also mini horses.
Yeah.
True.
Did anyone joust on a mini horse?
Yeah. Was there like
They
any
did
like
not.
R.I.P. Little
There were no-
Sebastian?
Nobody rode a little Sebastian,
Aw.
but that doesn't mean that there wasn't one there. There were
Okay.
two mini horses.
Aw.
Two little baby mini horses. They're like, I don't know, 8 hands high or whatever. They were adorable. And one thing I realized about myself is that horses make me nervous no matter what size they are.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, when you think about it intellectually, it's like a 2-ton,
It's a 2-ton muscle
Piece
full
of-
of spite for humans.
right. They're also really
I don't
twitchy,
like horses.
right? Like, horses are historically twitchy. So I didn't pet any of the big horses, but I did pet the mini horse.
I mean,
They-
they're not
they
really
had-
twitchy. They're more historically writing ebooks than going on Twitch. I mean, that's like
Fair.
what I've heard on the internet. Yeah.
Fair. Fair.
God, is horse ebook still even?
I
a
don't
thing?
know. I just
No,
he
no,
said
horse
twitchy, and
ebooks
it made me
got-
think of like horses on Twitch.
Yeah.
Horse ebooks, like somebody like doxed horse ebooks or something, and it
Oh,
stopped
no.
being a thing, as far as
Oh,
I
well.
know. Anyway, I could be wrong about that, but
Everything
the
good
tiny
gets
horse,
doxed eventually. Yes.
yeah,
Anyway, horses.
the tiny horse was super soft, and they also had tied a little unicorn horn on its head,
Aw.
so it was a little baby unicorn. It was adorable. Our best friend Kyle is asking in the chat if there was a Witcher and if I could toss coins to him. I was on the lookout for a fucking Witcher. At the ale tent, they sell you coins so that you can exchange them for alcoholic beverages. It's part of the like controlling the IDs and stuff like that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the point is. But I bought a few beer tokens, and I was carrying one around in my jeans 5 pocket, ready so that I could pull it out and whip it at him if I saw a Witcher. There were also no Jaskiers, so that was kind of a disappointment.
Were there many
but-
bards about?
What's that last one? I don't know the other thing.
Jaskier,
Yeah.
the bard from Witcher, Jaskier.
Oh, okay.
You know, the guy with the hat.
No.
Okay.
I barely made it through one episode.
Oh, okay. And you haven't played the games either.
Yeah,
or
no.
read the
Well, I
books?
mean,
Okay.
not enough to know anything. No.
Okay. He's the bard, and
Okay.
he's annoying, but charmingly so.
Hmm.
Anyway, so there are none of them. There were various and sundry bards about. So there were also like, they had a battle chess that was like a play crossed with battle chess, which was pretty fun to watch. So you got to see some stage combat. And then they had some folks from the SCA and one of the HEMA groups.
That's Society for
He-
Creative Anachronism, if you don't know.
Yes.
They're the people that beat each other up in the park with weapons.
Yeah, and
LARPers.
HEMA is like that, but more accurate techniques. Like HEMA is historical European martial arts. So there was that kind of stuff. There were also giant turkey legs, which is like 80% of the reason I went.
was going to ask if you got a giant turkey leg, and then I remembered that you
Abso-fucking-lutely.
had a picture of it that I
Right.
have seen. So yes,
It was delicious.
Wait, they serve the turkey leg inside of a lute? You said
What?
absolutely.
All right, whatever drugs you're on, you need to put them on
Yeah.
pause so I can get through my story. But no, they did not serve them in a lute, nor did they serve them in a loot crate. But yeah, so I had the giant turkey leg. I had a couple pints of ale. I almost bought a cool hat. They had they had this procession like 3 times during the day of like the king and queen, because they got a king and queen obviously, and had a bunch of musicians in that, including like 2 people playing. You know, the medieval trumpets don't have like valves or anything, so it pretty much relies on pure skill. And the trumpeters, either it was too fucking cold or they were a little bit rusty.
Oh, the old rusty trumpet.
Yeah, exactly.
oh no,
But like when they were playing their little heralds or whatever they're called, it was like 2 out of tune car horns next to each other. So that was hilarious. There was a good magic show, which was 100% surprising, and they also had a very, very buff dude with no shirt on, running a human-powered like carnival ride that's like shaped like a big barrel, and this dude
it
with no
was
shirt
like
on.
40 degrees.
When we got there, I think it was still below 40, and yeah, this dude was just standing there like
Holy crap!
fucking, and he was ripped. That dude was ripped.
So he's
Just
one of those dudes who's like, I will gladly take my shirt off.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, was he like hoisting people up and stuff? I mean, like, or moving
No,
them
they-
around in some contraption?
moving them around in some contraption.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
was a
that
big-
probably was keeping them a bit warm too, I guess.
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the barrel was like 6 feet long, barrel on its side, and maybe 3 or 4 feet in diameter, enough to put like 4 sized children in them or in it. But he was whipping that thing around, and that was awesome. It was a fun time. Like we were there from 10:30 until 4, and
Oh wow.
didn't
day.
really get bored. We were just like, okay, we're tired, time to go. Bunch of cool merchants and stuff.
Did they have like
Yeah.
you could shoot crossbows or anything somewhere?
They did have, so they had a thing really close to the entrance, which is probably good because it's before you get to the beer tent.
Uh-huh.
They had like throwing knives and throwing stars, which is odd for medieval period, and throwing hatchets. And then way on down by the SCA place, they did have archery, and they had live targets, but they had the little, foam sort of things on the end. So you got to shoot at 3 guys standing in armor in the middle of the little field,
Okay.
which was
Go
pretty
for the
cool.
neck.
Yeah. Or the nuts, if you will.
Yeah. My only experience,
sense.
I've been to like the Scottish Highland Games a couple times,
Yeah.
but my only experience with like a true Ren fair was Busch Gardens Williamsburg has like a permanent Ren fair, or at least did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they still do, but that's the only one I've ever been to.
I think they still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did crossbows and won like this cool like leather sack thing. It was like carnival games, but I got this like, it just looked like a scrote. But I used to keep like like my dice and stuff in it, like for playing.
Ye
games.
old bean bag.
Yeah. I mean, I used to keep like dice and hit counters and things like that in it. Like
Yep.
it was cool.
I keep my dice in a Crown Royal bag, like a gentleman. But yeah, I highly recommend medieval fairs or Renaissance fairs or whatever. Bunch of people dressed up. You don't have to dress up if you don't want to. Tons of fun. Good way to spend
Sounds
20,
cool.
$30 on an afternoon, even when it's cold as shit.
And eat a giant turkey leg.
Yeah.
Any other like? I want to know about any other like treats, like food treats. Did they have like Scotch eggs? Or I mean, that's a Highland game thing, but like I'm just thinking like.
They did. They
Yeah.
did have a place that had Scotch eggs. There wasn't a whole lot that was like. There was a lot that was themed or named to be medieval, like
Uh-huh.
come and get the king's nuts or whatever.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. They had. I wish
an
I had
honor.
it so I could. It is. I think it's in another room, but on the. They had a pizza place that was run by Domino's, and it was Ye Old Domino's. It was literally called Ye Old Domino's.
I feel like you could do better than that. Come on.
Oh, I'm sure they could, but I
still
I
like
was
it.
amused by it. Yeah.
I think it should have been like avoideth the noideth.
Avoid ye thy noid.
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah, and then the Witcher comes in and like takes money for fighting the Noid.
There you go. Hey,
Yeah,
you know a
just
thing about
some
a
cross.
Witcher.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying I don't know what the Witcher is. It's just, oi.
I'm just proud of you for knowing a thing
Yeah.
about a Witcher.
He's like, oi, Noid, Noid, Witcher.
Yep.
Yeah. 'Twas a good time.
Cool. I would consider going to one at some point in my life.
You should go
Maybe.
next year to the Hogtown Medieval Fair.
Maybe I will.
I'll call you.
Maybe. Yeah, let me know. Man, but doing it in February. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. Well, actually,
Well, it-
late January. Still.
Yeah. But it can go either way here. It might
Yeah,
be.
it could be sweltering.
Yeah. But it's also in the rest of the country, the risk is it just doesn't happen because it's snowy.
Yeah.
So
I would think they do it here because, you don't want to do it like June or July and walk around in fucking Renaissance gear. I mean, it's sort of like
For sure.
it's sort of like why I
That'd
always
be
ask
some
like why
funky gear.
Dragon Con does Labor Day weekend in Atlanta. It's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, it's one of the hottest places on the earth, and you're asking people to like wear latex and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take note, pinball conventions in Orlando, you fucking assholes.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
you guys want to answer some questions from listeners?
Is that the first one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm asking you.
Oh.
I can ask you anything right now, and that is
Oh, no.
literally the thing I chose. Was
Do I want to
Do you-
answer questions? Yes.
okay.
What if I say no?
Well, then you will be booted off the Zoom, and Harlow and I will have to flub our way through a few things.
Okay, I'll play along.
Okay,
Just
cool.
this once.
Thanks. But yeah, we put the call out to our listeners on the various socials and the Discord channel, which you should probably join. Go to the website, bmfcast.com, find the link, join it. I like Discord. It's nice because it kind of self-regulates itself. Like, shitheads eventually just go away. And, you know, it's been very few we've ever had to deal with. So, got a lot of questions there. And it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to be a patron, none of that stuff. Just join it, and you're good. So, with that said, let's get going, huh? First one we got from Birdie. Not Steve like the bird. This is Birdie, who is also a longtime listener, but asked, what has been your favorite and least favorite theme month besides Blaxploitation History Month? Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? My personal one is Triple Rex 2, State of the Union, simply because we named it Triple Rex 2, State of the Union.
Is that your favorite and least favorite?
As far as like the actual content goes, least favorite, because those were some bad. Like that, I think what that one had Anonymous Rex. It had.
Oh yeah.
There was just some real just dull.
I mean, is that where
stinkers.
the other Tammy the T-Rex comes from? Is that doing that, or?
It might have been.
Yeah.
I honestly
I
don't
mean, I know we
recall.
did we did it twice. We did the normal and then the
Yeah.
unrated or whatever.
But yeah,
I don't think so. I think we watched Tammy and the T-Rex.
Before that, yeah.
Triple Rex State of the Union
we had
happened
Triple
before,
Rex and Triple
before the
Rex
new
2.
studio, I think.
Okay.
yeah. But either way, that's my favorite name at least. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Doggus, though. I think Doggus just always seems to work, and Chuck is the most enthused about it out of any of us. And it's funny because like he'll say something, will be like, "Fuck you, Chuck. Wait till Dogust." And then Dogust comes in, and he's like, "We're not watching any dog movies because you guys hate them." And we're like, "No, we don't hate them. We just push them all to Dogust." Like,
Right.
what do you guys think? What are your votes?
I have an opinion.
Okay.
I would love to hear your opinions.
As I rarely do. My least favorite theme month was 1990 year.
You're
I
never
think you
gonna
know
let go
why.
of that, are you?
No, I am not, and I shouldn't. I
Dude,
should harry you about it for
It was
the
a-
rest of my living days and some of my non-living days.
Well, yeah, well, that gave us the theme month Kid and Play Pro.
It did.
So, April O'Neil. I think there was an actual ape reel in there at some point where we actually did watch.
I think there was.
I think that might have been how we started it, and then we were like, "Yeah, we're not actually doing that." That might have been when we actually did Shockma.
We did it. We did. I think you're right.
Yeah.
But I think we did a theme month every week.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
For April, yeah.
yeah. Because we were like, we're doing Ape Earl, and then we were like, no, we're not, because we're actually doing 1990 year, and we're trying to let you figure it out by April. We
Nope.
were trying to tip our hand.
Nope.
You could have just
not
fucking
you,
told me.
the royal you,
Oh.
the royal you. Like,
Well, you could have just fucking told me.
well,
as
it's like
well.
we started it, and then we thought you'd catch on, and then it just kind of became a thing. Yeah.
And some rando on Twitter said it, and then never wrote us again.
Yeah.
Oh, that was-
Yeah. At least
I love
invest. Oh, you didn't say your favorite, so.
How could I have any other favorite other than Blaxploitation History Month? And I know that was disallowed by the question itself, but I'm invoking my right as a founding member of this podcast to answer the question in the manner that I wish.
Okay.
Blaxploitation History Month, because nothing can beat it. Nothing even
You're
comes
right.
close.
I think if we were to eliminate that to answer the question properly, then I would have to say probably best would be one of the Force months. I feel like we've had the best Force things from those, or like did we do Force Majoon or something one time, or were we going
I
to?
think Force Majoon was pretty bad.
Yeah,
I think we did.
I mean, name wise, that's pretty good. But I mean, like, the first Force month, I feel like we had like 3 out of 4 really solid movies or something like that.
Yeah, it was a good month.
Yeah, like there was only one shitty one.
Yeah, I am disappointed Nin January got canceled this month because of COVID.
Yeah, but
Or
there's
this
still time
year.
for Nin July.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vanuary was pretty good.
January is a good one.
January
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like
How do we find, like,
4 van movies.
The
how do
3
our
Van
brains
movies.
work that
We're like,
we
here,
put a whole theme month with, like, the only van movies that exist? Like, there were 4 van movies, and it was like, now we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Vanuary.
I mean, we could have
Oh,
done more
Christ.
van thing because there's like 6 Van Wilder movies.
No,
I mean,
it's
well,
strictly
then there's
mode of
Van
transportation.
Helsing and
No.
yeah.
Yeah, but yes, we could have done that.
Yes. Honestly, I was gonna say my least favorite being Dogist. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care for Dogist. I mean, I do. I like the weird joy it brings Chuck, but and I'm okay with Dogist when we're doing like we've never done Cujo, but we did Silver Bullet and
Man's Best Friend.
Man's Best Friend, and then there's something.
Which is still one of my
Watchers
favorite
is the one I'm
episodes.
thinking of. Watchers, there's like
yeah,
multiple
Watchers
ones.
was-
But anyway,
the first one's good. The other 2 were not.
But
so
yeah,
much.
I mean, I'm okay when like we're doing dog movies like that, but I don't like the talking dog. I don't like that era of the it's the era like post Pearl Jam when everyone sounded like Pearl Jam but wasn't Pearl Jam. It's the like post Babe, everything thinks if you just make animals talk, it's automatically funny, and it's like no, what they're saying has to be good and not stupid. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's that kind of principle. I really really dislike those movies, like those talking animal movies.
What about Bailey's Billions?
I was not here for that one.
Oh, you missed
I
Bailey's
think
Billions?
I think I actually was in Vegas for that, ironically.
Oh, wow. Go
Yeah.
figure. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, I never saw that one. Is that Dabney Coleman or somebody?
I think so. I know it was Jennifer Tilly, and I want to say it was
That
oh god,
honestly, no, that and the
and Tim Curry, and they were paid by the word because they said like literally 7,000 words in that movie as fast as they could.
I'm pretty sure that and Space Buddies are the only 2 BMFcast movies I've never seen.
Man,
Like-
you weren't here for Space Buddies?
Space Buddy. No, he
That's-
wasn't.
That's actually the good one.
Okay, I thought
Yeah,
Super
Space
Buddies
Buddies
was
is
the
great.
good
Yeah,
one.
because it had Spudnik.
I kind of liked Super Buddies. I mean, as far as like suffering through 'em, Super Buddies was okay.
Yeah, Super Buddies was all right. What's the one we really hated? Was it Treasure Buddies or was it Spooky Buddies?
It's probably Parvo Buddies.
We haven't watched Parvo.
Well, I
Buddies.
know. I mean, that's the one I really hate because again, you have to understand, I don't hate dogs. I hate the humans that make them talk and say dumb things. I don't want them to
Yes.
kill the puppies, and
Yes,
I'm
Robert
upset
Vince. You hate Robert Vince.
that yes, I'm upset that they murdered puppies to make a bad movie. So that's my least favorite one.
Well, that one might not be bad. We just refused to watch it.
True.
Yeah.
Well, it's still my
Might
least
actually
favorite.
be good.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay.
This
Rocktober.
one's from this one's from Chase, like the landmass. Which cult movie?
Chase like the
quotation
landmass. I like that. Like you don't say his last name, so it therefore makes no sense.
Well, it's Steve like the bird.
I know,
It's
but
the same thing.
yes.
But Chase like the island says, which which cult movie do you guys think deserves to get the midnight movie / Shadowcast treatment on a regular rotation?
Hudson Hawk.
That was instant.
Yeah, I've championed Hudson Hawk for years, and I think that like I can't be the only one who gets joy, the kind of joy I get out of watching that movie, and it's not ironic. Like I get fucking joy from watching that movie. and it's stupid. And I can't be the only one. So
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
So, I mean, I wouldn't
didn't.
go to bat for it like you, but shit, like Robot Jox needs its day in the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it kind of, as far as most of them, Pacific Rim even giving a nod to it, like that's a pretty big deal. I mean, I feel like people at least mentioned Robot Jox when Pacific Rim came out. Like most of the other things, it's like they're lost to fucking time. Like no one's ever homaging it or anything.
Yeah, I have two for
Okay.
sure. First one being King of the Kickboxers, because there is absolute joy to be had in that movie, and I could not imagine seeing that in like a theater full of like-minded people watching that. And second one would be Super Fights as well, like same thing, both stupid, ridiculous, poorly acted in the best possible way. And actually, on that vein, Strike Commando, being the third one, like I feel like that one had a little bit of it.
That's the red brown
Yeah.
cotton candy growing at Disneyland, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just make sure.
That is Strike Commando, right?
I think
like,
that's the thing is like sometimes with those generic titles, I get them mixed up.
I know, and that's the problem with it. And that's the problem with, I mean, King of the Kickboxers is a memorable title,
Right.
but Super Fights doesn't instill memory. Yeah, it's Strike Commando.
I always feel like Dragon Fight is better than it is because that's a great fucking title.
Oh, it's a great title, and it's got Zadar and chain armor.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
yeah.
But yeah,
it's not as good as like you like those images make in your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like any of those three, like get them on that circuit, and they become the celebrated classics that they are. I'd say Hard Ticket, but I feel like it had its cycle, so it's probably due for a comeback in a few years. But yeah, I'll definitely take it.
I never hear anybody except for us talk about Arena.
Yeah, Arena's really good too.
Like anytime I bring up, my favorite bad movies, and anybody asks me and I mention Arena, people are like, "What's that?" I'm like,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah, that one has a problem because there was
marry me, Steve.
Yeah, there's a movie called Arena that came out in like 2005 or 6 that was just basically like, cashing in on UFC bullshit,
Right.
and that hurts it in like SEO and everything else because you say Arena and people are like, oh, that crappy fighting thing, and you're like, no, the good fighting thing with Steve.
Right. Steve.
Yeah, in
Steve
space.
Armstrong.
And that's the type of thing too. Like I don't know where we are in like the nostalgia cycle for that very specific, just barely before CG, cheaply made sci-fi movie thing, like that era of Robot Jox, of Arena.
Like Ice Pirates and Crawl and all those things. Well, it's like a lot of puppet plastic, but
Yeah,
but we didn't hire Rick Baker.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, like I feel like that should be coming back into the zeitgeist in some way, but it just hasn't yet. But I
Crawl
feel like
seems to get a lot of love, though.
well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's a bad example. That one, people still like that one, but I mean it's like I'm just saying that like, cheaply shot on a soundstage, a lot of latex and but not it's not like we got the good guys to do it.
yeah, cheaply made, but still entertaining.
Yeah.
Good. Like that's how I look at these. Is it's like, yeah, the budget isn't there, like that crocodile's mouth isn't moving, but still, who cares? Like it still looks cool, and it moves enough to move around and act in the scene that you need it to act in. So, yeah, Arena, that's a good one, dude.
Mhm.
All right, next one we got from Late Elf, who says, "What's been your biggest surprise movie in the last few years? Whether you enjoyed it or it was just something totally different than what you expected and made an impression for that."
Is this limited to BMFcast movies or?
I think
I
this sounds
did
like
not
anything.
specify.
Yeah.
I'd say Nobody for me. Like, it was not the movie I was expecting it to be, and it kind of because it wasn't that, it let it do some crazy ass shit that I was not expecting, which I liked.
Mm-hmm.
if we are going BMFcast detention, like I had no idea
Yeah.
what to expect out of detention, and then it was like, here you go, this is a fucking ride, and yeah, that was just like, that one I didn't even know what to expect, but I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I haven't really had. I mean, maybe it's just due to the lack of movies over the last few years, or like them. I mean, let's be honest. They were kind of like holding back the good movies. Like, this is going to be a few months, and then everything got all fucked up, and so it's like it's hard to tell. But like, I'm trying to think. Like the last time I've have like legitimately had like a shocked, jaw open like experience seeing something where I just was not expecting it. I mean, I have to go back to like Scott Pilgrim. I mean, honestly, like, I wasn't quite completely keyed in on like Edgar Wright's style. I mean, I think I'd seen, Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, but I don't think it was like a established to that style thing yet or whatever. And I really didn't know anything about the source material, and I know he just said the last couple of years, but I mean, that's the last time where I like walked in knowing seemingly very little about the thing and just kind of be like, what the fuck am I watching? Like in a good way, but yeah. Yeah, nothing's really like shocked me in the last few years, really.
Yeah.
Shocking is hard to say. Like movies where I was like, oh, I've never heard of this and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like Cotton Comes to Harlem. I bought that Blu-ray, and I don't generally buy physical media all that often unless it's something that I absolutely have to have. So, that one gets a nod from me.
God, that movie's great.
It's so good. So good. I bought the book.
Yeah.
That's how much I liked it. Yeah. I couldn't get through it. The like colloquial, or what's the word for it?
Colloquialisms.
The writing style's real hard to get through since all the dialogue is written sort of as spoken.
Oh, phonetically?
Almost, yeah.
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 I'm not always a fan of that at all.
It makes it hard to read.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other things I can think of is two that I just absolutely loved and clicked with me completely. Palm Springs, I was like, this sounds like my thing. And then I was like, no, this movie's my life. Like, this connected with me so thoroughly. And also Kubo and the Two Strings, I was just kind of like, this looks like a cool movie and people have good things to say about it. And I'm like, it's like, okay, if you like it, that's one of the few movies I would recommend to literally anybody. And I absolutely love it. And it's still every single level that movie works for me. And I was not expecting that out of a stop motion kids movie. So, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Walt.
Oh, hey, I know Walt.
Walt's been on the show.
He has. I've seen Walt in person.
So have I. Amazing. We've played board games with Walt.
I was going to say, I've been in Walt's house.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have too. Who knew? Anyway, Walt says, what do you guys see as the future of the movie-going experience? What are some pros and cons of the current experience? What trends do you see ending and beginning? And then he says, we'll always have Fast 6.
We will.
Yep.
I know Harlow's probably going to have the most to say about hating the movie experience, but I feel like it's going to end up going more premium than it is. Mm-hmm. Like if movies survive the Rona, I think we're going to see like smaller cinemas and more premium experiences. It's kind of been the trend already, not necessarily smaller cinemas, but because they built all these, 24, 36 plexes 20 years ago and, locked in their rent or whatever, so they don't have to tear them down and build new ones. But we've seen all the theaters convert to recliners and assigned seating, and everybody's putting a bar in there and, different food options. So I think it's going to continue to trend more premium and more indie. Like our local indie theater, they're still doing right now in theater shows but they have also opened up a semi-permanent drive-in. They found a place that would give them some cheap space on the weekends and put up a semi-permanent screen. So I think we'll see more of that, more of sort of boutique experiences, if you will. And that's, that's my thought. I like the strides that theaters have made to try to make it a better theater going experience, at least for me, because I hate I hate chasing seats, and
God,
I hate
assigned seating has been like the biggest godsend.
Yeah,
Like, I don't remember when it started, but holy God, it's like, how did we do this before? Having like one of you has to go and sit and then reserve these 8 seats.
Yeah.
And everybody keeps coming up and trying taking them, and you got to tell them, no, wait, my friends are just getting popcorn. All that shit.
I
over
hate
with
that
now. I love it. I love assigned seating so much.
And like for a long time, I refused to go to a movie with anybody any more than like 2 other people.
Yeah.
Because I hate that so much. You got to get there early, and like, if the movie starts at, let's say, 8:00, you got to get there at 8:30 to get your seats if it's a popular movie, especially on a weekend night. Yeah, that's really changed the game for me. Because now I don't care how many people go. Like, fine, these are the tickets available. Buy your tickets. I'll see you there in our assigned seats. I can get there 5 minutes before the movie starts and not have to worry about, any of the other bullshit. I dislike the trend that continues. That is like everything has gotten extraordinarily expensive. But yeah. As far as trends ending, I guess I can tack back to the size of movie theaters. I don't think we're gonna be seeing anybody build any 24 screen theaters anymore.
Yeah, I think they built 2 new Cinemark ones in town, and I want to say they have like 10 screens, maybe. Like the Dodecaplex is done for sure.
Yeah.
What I would love to see things go to is what, like in Orlando, the Enzion, I believe it is. And there was one that used to be by my college back in the 90s. Is like you get a table, and you're sitting at a table, around a table that's facing the screen, and you've got like a waiter or waitress coming like in the middle of the movie, obviously being, super quiet about things and checking on people. And you had a little thing on the table that you could put up that would say, come serve me something,
Yeah.
like I feel like I would love to return to that experience where, like you've booked yourself a table, you and your friends have bought an 8-seat table for this movie. And that's kind of like where you have, and you got, you've got your area, you can put your food down, and it's still a communal experience, but it's way more relaxed atmosphere almost. And it's kind of more like a hangout, and it's not necessarily, like people are there, like Enzion is very much everyone's there to see the movie. Bless you.
Sorry.
But I loved that. Obviously, that's going to be prone to people, just ordering picture after picture, and then by the end of the movie, like, are you fucking dead all the whole time? I know it, that sort of thing. But I would love to see it go to that. Yes, I love our super hyper comfy recliners that you can go to sleep in, but I would love to have a table of some kind to set my shit on too.
Well, like at Sunray and at all the one Alamo that I've been to, they have that bar in front of you, and it's only maybe a foot deep, but at least at the Alamo, you can order drinks, which is super cool. You just have a little card. And if some motherfucker is acting up, you also just write that on the card and set it in front of you. And the person will come by and pick it up and go, oh, okay, you get the fuck out of here. Or watch them and make sure they don't do anything else, whatever.
Yeah.
So being able to narc out your fellow moviegoers in the middle of the movie is chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything I would say would be very pessimistic. I mean, it's not because of the nature of the state of technology or the size. I mean, I think there's room for a 20 screen movie, going experience for you know, the people that want that. Like, I want to walk up and I'm not discerning, I just want to walk up and have a movie starting within 20 minutes of when I walk up. I mean, I think that's what those experiences were for. But yeah, I mean, I think the big problem is like people don't respect anything, including their fellow humans. And I mean, so you make these nice places. I mean, we saw it with the reclining seats. We get these nice seats and everything, and then within like 3 months, they're all torn up or malfunctioning or broken or sticky, and it's all just like, we can't have, the whole expression of like, this is why we can't have nice things. Well, we can't because, humans fuck it up. So, I mean, the only way it's going to work is with the policing system. I mean, and it's sad that that's how it is, but, that's the only way it's going to work is like turning it into like a true theater experience. I mean, I think that's the difference is like, one's a big version of the baby, the electronic babysitter. I mean, for most people, I mean, it's the fucking Walmart experience of movies. And the other one, it's like, people are going because they want the traditional theater experience. It's like, I am paying for an evening of entertainment, not an evening of escape, like not a distraction. Like I'm here for the art of movies and storytelling and all of that. And other people are just like, I don't care. They're the people that have like television on 24 hours a day just because it's on in the background. Like it doesn't matter what it's on. It's just fucking noise.
Movies are content.
Yeah, content. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you're never going to get respect out of people like that. It's just like, if the movie sucks, they're like, well, fucking slash the seats. And it's like, that has fucking nothing to do with anything. Like,
Yeah. So do you think they'd be able to make, like, for lack of a better term, quiet theaters that are actually policed?
I've said for years,
have those segmented from the fucking teenager theater.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I've said for years we need adult movie theaters, and I don't mean porno. I mean like you have to be 18 or over. I mean, you can show whatever the fuck you want in them. I'm just saying, like, you need to have like a 21 and up movie experience, maybe even 25 and up. I mean, I went to a club in Orlando that was 25 and up, and being like 24 at the time, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then like now I was like, no, I get it. It's because you're a fucking scrub bush league rookie when you're drinking the first couple of years, and you need to like learn to hold your shit and not be an asshole. Some people never do, but yeah, that's the thing is like you need a respectful theater, and then you need the fucking Walmart of theaters, and that's what you need. I mean, that's the only way it's gonna like maintain, any sense of like working.
Well, that's why I think like the more premium / boutique experience is the way to go, because like what's happening now, to talk to the trends portion of the question, is so much stuff is available the same time it's in the theaters on Disney Plus or on some sort of premium service, where you don't have to gather up your 9 kids and shuffle them off to the theater and spend $140 in popcorn, just for them to spill it all over the floor and then cover it with the Coca-Cola that they also spilled on the floor. You can just pile your kids in the room, and everybody's got a 65-inch television now, except for me, and just watch it at home. You can, or you got a projector and you can project it on the side of the house or whatever. So that experience of people going to see a movie for the express purpose of going to see a movie is probably disappearing, and people are now instead going to see a specific movie. The film itself is the event, not going to see a movie. Right. Not the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it used to just be like you just, Friday night, Saturday night, you just show up at the theater and be like, what's playing? Yeah, right. Like, I guess we're seeing Jaws this week. Okay, I guess we're seeing Butch Cassidy this week. Like, it's just like you didn't really know. It's just like, I hope this is good.
Right. Yeah. Now you know what movie you're going to see. Oh, yeah.
You probably know half the movie before it even hits, the first frame,
Thanks, trailers.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just... That's what I mean. It has to. We have to have some sort of line in the sand where it's like, this is we don't care. We're just here to eat popcorn and have things flash before our eyes, and then we need to have this is the. And like I said, it used to be like you could just be like, well, it's an art house movie, and I feel like people would just be like, you know what? I'm not gonna watch the Michael Bay movies anymore. I'm just gonna watch this French shit because I can go over here and it's gonna be peaceful and people that aren't idiots are gonna be in there and I can read the subtitles and it'll be quiet and it'll be nice. I mean, I think a lot of people are just like turned into snobs because it was just like, well, at least I'll have a peaceful experience over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's why I started going to, for a while pre-COVID, I was trying to go to the indie theater on a Monday or Tuesday. Because nobody would be there,
Right?
And I could choose the seat I wanted. I could kick back with a giant tub of popcorn, and everyone would leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. Or if I went to see a regular movie, or a movie at a regular place, I would also see it on a Monday or Tuesday or early on Saturday. Like the matinee show is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Because I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to be completely pessimistic. Like for me, the movie experience is about the fucking movie. I don't care about popcorn. I don't care if another fucking human is there. I don't give a shit. I am there to see the movie, and like, I like the technological aspects of it. Like I like a seat that fucking rocks when the bass is up, or I'm there for spectacle too. But it's like, technically, I mean, I could have that same experience at home. I mean, it's just you go to a movie theater and you expect it to be properly calibrated and everything, and like I could do that at home if I really wanted to. I could get all of that experience 100% at home, and that would be fine by me. I know that's not everybody. I know some people are there for the communal experience, and I couldn't give less of a shit. I am there solely for the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're never going to get a Snakes on the Plane opening night at home, but also you're never going to get, you almost have to stab somebody at home either.
Right.
Well, you're usually not going to get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's me. I could start acting a fool in the middle of a movie and have to take myself out.
Yeah, I could have to stab one of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, them's our thoughts on movie theaters.
Yeah,
and the related experience.
Cool. Well, speaking of movies,
great segue. So proud of you.
This one's from Torpor. Torpor, who asks, are there any recent actors/actresses for whom you think we should keep an eye out? This can be because they're good for any other reason, like they give an entertaining train wreck of a performance or whatever.
I can answer for both Chuck and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
McKenna Grace.
Yeah, because that's the first name that popped in my head too.
That's who to look out for.
I mean, again, I was like, how young or whatever we were talking about. I mean, is it like you're talking like the next up and coming good actors of next generation, or is it like, hey, this guy's 40 and you should check him out. Like he just started popping up and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they are good, or for any other reason. So it's kind of an open question.
Right.
But anybody who's stood out recently, I think is a fair interpretation.
Yeah, the only one that really comes to mind for me is Jessica Roth. She's the lead in both the Happy Death Day movies.
Mm-hmm.
She does a really good job of like making you hate that character and then turning around, making you love that character by the end.
Yeah,
and that's kind of, there's a skill to that, to having that charisma, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes without saying, but I've said Catherine Newton too. I mean, I feel like she's already on the meteoric rise. That's the opposite. Meteoric's down usually. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, she's already like on the rise, I think. But she's good. Don't know. I'm trying to think of like any dudes. I mean, we've talked about Timothy Charlemagne and all that, but yeah.
Timothée Chalamet.
And also, I don't even know how young he is. I think like he's older.
Oh, he's like 4 years old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when someone was like, he's in Interstellar, I'm like, well, fuck, how old is he? Because Interstellar was a little while back now.
Yeah, he's like mid-20s now.
Yeah.
He just looks like a child.
Yeah, he does.
He's 26 years old.
Okay.
There we go.
Holy shit.
Yep.
I feel very old now.
Yeah.
I feel like all the young dudes, like, every time I am like, this guy's good, he fucking inevitably becomes a sex pest. I mean, so I refuse to answer the question because, like, you know, like, I'm just all the young dudes.
All the young dudes.
Yeah.
All the young dudes
I don't
are
know.
now sex pests.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well.
I was just going to say, like, I can't think of anyone because, like, everyone I'm like, yeah, he's pretty good. It's, like, usually turns out to be bad some way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
We'll get back to you on the dudes,
Yeah.
but
That Jason Bateman, he's versatile.
Wait, did Jason Bateman do
is
something
he a
bad?
is he a sex pest?
He was in Ozark. I don't know.
Oh.
It's just like, that guy did comedies. And then he did Ozark.
Okay.
Is Ozark good?
Keep an eye out for him. I don't know. I never watched it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have time for movies, for TV shows.
It's supposed to be good, but I don't know.
There's like 4 seasons worth, so I can't.
Yeah.
I can't commit to that.
Well, you know,
Unless it's over, and then I can commit to any show where they're like, "Hey, it's over," then I can commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's not. If it's not over, then I'll steer clear.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't gonna start watching it for a while because I had just finished Breaking Bad, so I didn't need any more like drug dramas in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should sandwich in a winter's bone in the middle.
Is that also a drug drama?
It's yeah. I mean, that's meth in the Ozarks. I mean,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, that's got
Tie it
Jennifer
all
Lawrence.
together. Yeah.
Keep an eye on her.
yeah, yeah.
might do some
She might
things.
be all right.
Yeah. All right. Moving on.
Uh huh.
This one's from your friend and mine, Moonpier.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
So he-
Mr. Moon.
Yeah, so Moon says, so when I don't have the time or mental facilities to rewatch a movie, even if it's one I love, I will jump over to Cinema Wins on YouTube. That is kind of like the opposite of Cinema Sins. That's a
I guess so.
Okay.
they name all the things they love as they watch the movie, which works. But yeah,
Nice.
Cinema Wins on YouTube and watch a video about it. Give me just the right amount of content about the movie and why I liked it without spending hours watching. Is this cheating or is this okay?
As someone who struggles with that myself in both film and video games, I am giving you carte blanche to do that as much as you want, Mr. Moon.
He's British, not French. You can't give him carte blanche.
I think he would appreciate
Card
me.
blank.
Yeah, you get a blank check.
I think he would appreciate me giving him the French's card. Like,
Oh, okay.
haha, I've taken it from the French.
Oui, yes.
Give it to you. So, no, I do that for video games and movies.
I literally don't care anymore. No, I mean, I like, you know, anything I used to like be like it was a fucking
Period.
rule. No, I mean, just like if this was a rule or like, man, you're doing this wrong, I really don't give a shit. If it gives you joy, fucking
Yeah.
do it. As long as it's not murdering people. Like, I mean, as long as it's not, you know, touching children or murdering people, fucking do it. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, anything that gives you joy. You know, just don't hurt other people or animals or, you know, that's
If
it.
you want to kill God, kill God.
Whatever, you know, if God's so great, he could fight back.
But yeah,
You
like
got
I
a
do
point.
it with
Yeah.
I do it with video games that I know I'm never going to play, but I want to play. Like all of the survival crafting games.
Mhm.
You know, I want to play them all,
Yeah.
but like there's a zombies one called 7 Days to Die. I really want to play that one, but I just don't. I can't make time for it somehow.
Can't be
So
arsed.
And
What's that?
Can't be arsed.
Exactly. So I've found a YouTuber that does almost nothing but 7 Days to Die content, and I watch that all day while I'm working.
I bet they appreciate it.
I'm sure they do. I
The
have
views.
hundreds of hours of
Yeah.
views.
I agree with you guys. I will have one caveat to that, and that is if you haven't seen the movie, because I don't like getting commentary from others clouding my judgment of a movie.
I even don't care about that anymore. Like, seriously. Like, I mean, like, I know people are like, hey, spoilers don't bother me. Great. Fucking read it all. I don't care. I really don't give a shit. If it works for you, do it. I'm saying, like, if you want to read the last page first, fine. Dude, you know, you live your goddamn life. I don't care.
Just don't make me read the
Yeah.
last page
Right.
first.
That's it. Yeah. Just don't
Yeah.
don't fucking spread misery, spark joy. What
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
and
Moon
that's
says,
the thing. Like, if it's already ones that you've watched, then yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I've watched commentary tracks of stuff just because I like the commentary track as much as the movie, and it's like sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll leave that on because, yeah, I used to do that a lot when I could actually watch movies while being at work, But it was so many of them. It was on in the background because it was just like that. It was like I like this. This is a pleasant thing to be hearing in the background as I'm as I'm doing all the bullshit that I have to do and don't
Right.
want to be doing.
Oh, and let me circle back because I felt like I just contradicted myself and you brought it forward. But if you want to have movies on the background, I don't begrudge you that. I'm just saying, like, I know there are people that like throw a movie on in the background, maybe have sat and like paid full attention to 5-10 minutes of it and be like, yeah, I saw that. And like, you didn't fucking see that. Like, it was on in the background while you were like you were playing Minecraft or doing literally anything else. It's like, you didn't fucking watch that.
Yeah.
That's I think that's what I was, getting with, like, people that's how they see movies, is just, like fucking background noise, new content.
Yeah, and I'm saying that more just because I know he hates cinema sins as much as we do.
Yeah.
And there's a brand of people that are just like, that movie sucks because I watched the cinema sins about it. And they said it sucked. So, and it's like, and that's the shit I can't stand, where it's just like, think for your fucking self, man. Like,
I don't even care, dude. Don't be a drone. Do whatever makes you happy. I don't care.
Okay, yeah, I just,
Well,
I
don't come at me with
I'm
your,
not going to
with
be
your
friends
opinion.
with you if that's the
Yeah,
case.
that's what I mean. Is I think I've hit a new level of like, it doesn't do me any good to be angry at people that are that stupid. So I just don't care. Like, it's they're not going to change by me being like, no. But so I don't care anymore. Like, like I could tell you, like, I can give you some advice of like what I think is the right way to live, but like, that's the saying. If like you want to watch Cinema Sins and that's how you form your opinions, fine. You're an idiot, but that's you go be a happy idiot. I don't care.
Carlo is getting closer and closer to a Zen master every day. I feel one day he's just going to like float into picture on the live stream and be like, this movie was an experience, and then float off screen.
He's just eventually he's just going to become Dr. Manhattan sitting on the moon going, I'm tired of you people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't blame you a bit.
I blame Dr. Manhattan.
Yep. So
I mean-
we're going to... Now go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to make jokes. Proceed.
Okay. Nope, cutting you off then. No joke zone. Sorry. So next one up from Crazy Razzie.
Crazy Risey.
Not movie related, because it is Ask Us Anything.
Oh, okay.
And so Crazy wants to know, do you consider video games to be art? Because I do. To me, art is something you experience, then you talk about how it makes you feel and your thoughts on it. So do we consider video games art?
100%. Yes. Not all of them,
Yes.
but I mean, well, even okay, fine. Yes, all of them. I mean, I hate to say it, but no, I can't say that, because there are games that are literally designed by corporations to suck money, and like no one was ever like at any point being like, this. What will this make people think or feel? And that's what art is, like
Any game not made by Zynga.
yes, I mean, I think all games have the capacity to be art, because that's what art is. It's a desire to change the thought process of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what art is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, to make them happy or to make them feel or make them think. That's it.
If there's intention behind the design,
Yeah.
then it can be art.
Right.
Yes.
So I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
But
There are
it's
games-
also like, there's the question like, would you consider Tetris art?
yes, it's got
Or
beautiful
would it
music.
be highly designed craft?
I mean,
Or like Geometry Wars? That's the thing. There's
There's art and intention and design and
I mean, by that,
things made to evoke an emotion.
I feel like by that
or
you
a
could be
feeling.
like, you could just be like an asshole and be like, yeah, well, architecture's not art, because it's all function. I mean, I'm just
But architecture, I mean, look at all the beautiful buildings in the world, like
I
the
get
Sydney
it.
Opera House.
I mean, Tetris is a great fucking game. I'm just saying by the fact that it's a building and it's utilitarian. I mean, and Tetris is a utilitarian game to while the time away. I'm just saying, like, you could make that.
Tetris is fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm just I just think, like, Tetris is the architecture side of art. You could be an asshole and be like, no, building keeps you out of the rain. And I will hear nothing else about it. It's like, but also the Guggenheim. Yeah.
And Tetris is weird because Tetris is almost more of a game than any of the rest of, the games that we could talk about today.
Sure.
Clearly defined rule set, and it's got a delineated point to it and all that. But like, you have to. The hardest part about this discussion is, like, I am comfortable for myself saying, yeah, most games are art, but then you have to really, like, if I was to defend that position to someone, I would have to go dig up a definition that I'm comfortable with of what art is, and I'm still not comfortable with any of the definitions I've been able to come up with yet. So, because there's stuff that's like 4 squares of color on a piece of plywood, and I'm like, is that art? I don't think so. Do I think so because it sucks, or do I think that way because I don't think it's actually art? I'm just not learned enough really to have that, to have a strong defensible position.
I mean,
on what art
again,
is.
To me, that's like, was the person like, actually trying to evoke some emotion, or were they just like thumbing their nose at the art world? Like, I mean, was like the intention true, like, in modern art? The content of said art is not mine to judge. It's like, modern art to me is fucking Jeff Dunham. Some people would call it art, but I'm like, it's fucking basic and stupid, and I'd rather it not be around. But
well, then you look at what's classically considered art,
sure.
Like, like the old Dutch paintings of the people with ruffled feathers. Like, that's in art museums.
Dutch masters.
Exactly, the Dutch masters. But like, those are portraits, and those are commissioned pieces that replicate a person in as much fidelity as was possible at the time. It's like a photograph, or I should say a snapshot. Like, is that art? Because it's really just a replication of something that already exists. It's more of a craft, maybe, but it's in art museums. Well, suck it, Vermeer. You're not art.
Whoa.
And that's the thing with video games. They're in the state right now where they have to serve capital. They have to serve as capital. They have to make money to be considered for anything.
I would say,
I think
the same argument,
or at least the majority of video games. And obviously the majority of art in the Renaissance was commissioned, and the guy did it because he's going to get paid to paint whatever this is that some rich person wanted.
Yeah, some rich person wanted to flex look, I got a picture of me above my fireplace.
Holding a weird-looking cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. This cost 40 of your lifetime's worth of your income.
Yeah. But I think that's the biggest hurdle video games are facing right now, is that they serve as commerce right now.
No different than movies.
What's that?
Movies are a giant collective art form that at the end of the day, somebody's looking at the bottom line more than anything else.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and that's what I'm trying to say is that, like, we have to get to a point where an artsy game is something that people just know, because like when you talk about movies, like, people go, oh yeah, the Oscar movies or whatever, people will know, okay, this is art, this is done for a specific, dramatic purpose. And then there's, there's Fast Five, where we know what the purpose of Fast Five is. and it's not to win fucking
That's
Oscars.
art.
Yeah, it
That's
is
to
art.
be
Yes.
art.
But or or let's just say Marvel movies, is it's like they're you wouldn't say when someone says, I want an art movie, they go, there aren't any art movies, they're all Marvel movies. It's like, no, there are plenty of movies that are crafted in a much more different way than a Marvel movie. But I think in the general public's eye, video games are basically just Marvel movies. That's all that exists, is first person shooter whatever type movies or video games, so to speak. And I think that's the problem, is we have to have that mainstream breakthrough of some kind of game that just has no shooting, no any of that, like that is a walking simulator that grabs my parents' attention, and they go, hey, I heard about this, I heard about Gone Home, whatever. It's not Gone Home, obviously, but something on that level has to break through to mainstream public consciousness, I think, in order for video games to finally get some of that recognition.
Well, the other problem is we're talking about a generational form of art that's new.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody with eyes and ears can watch a movie, and even one of the two is optional based on your, accessibility options. But like games are still in an age where it's mostly age bracketed. Like there are people that just have never touched a video game, never will touch a video game, have no interest, never will. So, I mean, we have
Don't worry, they're going to die soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just have to hit a point where it's like everyone has to have grown up to at least had the like exposure of like touching a video game so that they have some basic knowledge of it. We're just not quite there yet. So I'd say in another 20 years, it's like, it's going to be pretty safe that, everyone will have touched a video game at some point in their life, at some point for a few minutes.
And the other barrier that video games have, you can watch a movie and you don't have to do anything, and you will have the complete experience at the end of your 2 hours.
Right.
A video game has to involve active input, which allows it to do things that I could consider art, like Brothers. There's stuff that happens in that game that I consider art, and it's all related to how you control it and the things that you're doing and the mechanics that it eventually gives you by the end of that game that make it matter to me. But like my dad would never be able to finish Brothers if I sat him down and said, here, do this. Whereas, if I sat him down and asked him to watch, 8.5 or something, he'd hate it by the end, but he'd be able to get through it and he'd be able to watch the entire thing. And I think that's the other barrier that video games have.
8.5. That's a pretty generous score out of 10.
Yeah, I could hear him saying that. That's way too high.
Yep, it played right after you said it in Mackie's dad's voice.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There's no barrier there. The only barrier is time, and
right.
Video games have that one little hurdle that's there. Sometimes it's a huge hurdle, obviously, because I know there's plenty of games that some of us love, and the other ones are like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't like playing that. And
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where now we're getting down into the Roger Ebert, art is video game art argument. And I don't know. I mean, I think like, does art have to be accessible to everybody? I don't know. Like, that's the idea is like, I think we maybe have at some point, you're gonna have to like redefine what art is. I mean, it's sort of like, I think the closest thing I could say is like, if someone put a piece of art at the top of Mount Everest, and meaning that the only way you could see it was to climb fucking Mount Everest, that means the majority of people aren't going to see it. Does that not make it art? I don't know. Yeah. That's what, like video games. I mean, that's like a lot of people.
If an art's in the forest and there's no eyes around to perceive it,
right.
Is it really art?
I'm not necessarily arguing that. I'm just saying that's the barrier to mainstream acceptance of it as this.
Right. I just mean it's it still is art. It's just most people aren't going to ever experience it because of the barrier of where it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe art's just a dumb concept that we're trying too hard to rationalize.
That's the thing. Trying to like compartmentalize art is probably a fool's errand. But there is one video game that is unequivocally art, in my opinion, and that is Journey. Everyone
I thought you were about to say 50 cents.
I was waiting for it. I was like, how is it going to be $half?
You just
I mean, it is right here.
Swerved on
Yeah.
me.
And
You
that was,
totally
I was
fucking
just like,
swerved
how is
on
it
me.
going to be presented? Blood on the sand is coming.
Yeah, but I agree.
I'm sorry
completely.
I went with a serious answer for
Yeah,
once.
well.
I
I agree
apologize to all
completely,
of my
though.
fan.
Journey is probably the most moving video game experience I've ever had.
Yeah. I cried playing Journey. So
Well, to me, it's, I mean,
You know.
well, I haven't finished Journey, so but Gone Home and Last of Us Part 2.
wait, did you say you haven't finished Journey?
I have not finished Journey.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, you should go play it. It's like 45 minutes.
I fired it up one point. I didn't. I don't know. Maybe if like something was broken, I couldn't figure it out. Like I think people were supposed to be appearing and stuff, and nothing was happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You can do it alone. You can
Okay.
do it with your random friend.
Okay.
But yeah. And the only other one I could say that had that effect on me was Mass Effect 3. Because there's a specific character death that is like, I would put on par with any character death in any movie that I've ever seen. So, yeah. All right.
Also, 50 Cent Blood on the Sand is art.
Yes.
There it is.
Also art.
Hit that big ass ramp.
Yeah. We've got a question from the live chat here from Patrick Silent, who says, a serious question. Do you believe that John Carpenter can still make a comeback as a filmmaker?
Oh wow, that's so weird. My brain for no fucking reason whatsoever went to John Carter, and I was like, is he going to make another movie? And I was like, really? I don't doubt it.
Hey, man, Taylor Kitsch isn't doing anything.
Yeah. I mean,
John Carpenter, I say no.
he's
because
old as fuck,
he is-
isn't he?
Well, you know what? He's sitting at home, smoking up, playing video games every day.
Yeah.
And you know what I would do if I was in John Carpenter's situation and the just residuals were just rolling in for everything, and I could sit around all day smoking up and playing video games? I'm going to let you know the answer to what I would do every day is I would sit around smoking up, playing video games, and letting residual checks just keep showing up.
Yeah.
And I would be the happiest person on earth. And if you don't have the drive to truly make something, you're not going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he does not have that drive anymore. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some absolute stone cold fucking classics back to back to back to back to back. And
He has,
Good for
he has
him.
a better filmography than 98% of other filmmakers, will ever even hope to have. So, I mean, there's people that like would be proud to have The Thing in their filmography, much less anything else, or like
Yeah.
I just like
fucking Halloween.
right,
Like,
yeah,
Halloween is so good. Like it's you don't think about it because it's been imitated so much. But the last time I watched it, I was just like, this is a fucking masterclass. Like everything has intention in that movie, and everything works and is timed exactly the way it needs to be. And I couldn't imagine like seeing that back in the 70s before slashers were like just kind of a whole genre of their own. He's awesome, but I think he's perfectly happy where he is, and I don't think a comeback is in the cards for him. And even if he tried, I don't think it would succeed because I don't think he has the passion or like this desperate need. It's not like George Miller just decided to go back out in the desert and is like, I need to make the ultimate Mad Max movie, and like out of the blue just fucking destroyed everyone. Like, how does this happen? But I think it's because he knew there was still a story that he wanted to tell in there, and so he actually got some crazy son of a bitch to sign off on it and let him do it. And we are all living in a better universe because of it.
yep.
Absolutely. All right.
Sorry if I just dominated that one. Unless
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
have
that's fine.
anything to add to it.
Yeah, I mean I think you said it perfectly. It's just why I think that's a big thing. Going back to the previous thing, like art, you've got to have passion, and if you don't have passion, I mean that's if you want to talk about where passion goes to die, it's the fucking corporation. So I mean I'm saying that's why it's going to be hard to like get passion to persist through the end product of a movie or a video game. And I think that's why we're all like in awe when it does happen, because you're like, shit, that passion somehow persevered through all this bullshit, and somebody going like, maybe it needs a talking brainy gremlin, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about movies that feel like they got no studio notes, and they're usually like movies we absolutely love.
Yeah.
Like and that one, like a movie that just totally unexpected. Sorry to bother you.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Holy shit! Like if that's not the prototype movie, you say like, I can't tell you anything about this, and even if I did, you'd be like, quit fucking with me. That's not what this movie is. And then you'd watch it and be like, holy shit, that's actually what this movie is. And sorry to bother you, like I still no comprehension how that got made. How people gave him money and let Boots just make that fucking movie. I don't know how it happened. It blows my mind.
Yep. I mean, yeah, to circle back to that question, now I'm thinking about like the feeling I had watching Get Out, like especially like the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like,
oh,
I was just like, maybe not the entire movie, but like, man, talking about like circumventing your expectations in a big way. Just
well, and then the very end, just like being like,
right.
oh my God, this is not happening. This is not about to happen.
Yeah,
and
that's
then,
what I mean. Yeah.
And then what happens, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you for not talking directly about it and talking around it so that I can enjoy the experience later.
Yeah, I just mean there are certain things where it's like, it's hard to replicate that, like where you like your physical nature changes, where it's like you're watching or experiencing something and you're like you tense up or like something awakens in your gut. It's just like I am so heavily invested in what's happening right now that it's like it's altering my chemistry. Those experiences are few and far between.
Yeah.
That was a serious thank you, by the way. I appreciate you guys talking obliquely about it.
Yeah. In a similar vein here, last one's from Kyle, who says, if you could erase your memory of one movie so you could experience it again for the very first time, what would it be? And also tying into the previous question, he says, my pick would have to be John Carpenter's The Thing. I saw enough of The Thing in clips on cable before being able to watch it in full that I feel I never got the experience I would have if going in totally clean. I'd love to clear it from my mind and see it for the first time.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
100,000 fucking %. Because I mean, I was 3 when that came out. I probably did not appreciate the mic drop nature of that movie, and by the time I was fully cognizant, it was just everywhere and you knew it. So like I would like to go back and see that experience after the first time. Raw.
I would do that with all 3 of the original trilogy. I would have to, like, I wouldn't want to just have one, because I'm similar to you. Like I had, and similar to like Kyle's situation, I saw clips of it, clips of all of the Star Wars movies, it seems like, growing up, and like we had a taped TV version of I think all of them, before we got the widescreen VHS set, the Darth Vader widescreen VHS set.
The special edition ones.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that was right before the special edition ones.
Yeah.
It was like 95.
Something like that, yeah.
Because I had that. I sold that a few years back for a lot of money that should not have sold for
Yeah,
that much.
there was one set that was silver and black that was Darth Vader. It was widescreen, and there was like a goldish Yoda one that was full screen, I think.
Those were the special edition.
Are they?
ones.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was one that was like a wide, like a rectangular
Oh, right.
box.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one I had.
Oh, okay. I don't think I had.
Now I'm remembering that I had the weird episode 1 VHS widescreen thing that was in that stupid wide box too.
Yep, I had that one too.
Yeah.
I forget
God.
which one I had, but I had, maybe it wasn't the widescreen, but we had the ones that came out before the special editions. And yeah, I think that would be monumental.
Oh, I think I know which ones you're talking about. They had like a stormtrooper on the cover, I think, and they were like kind of black and purple-y, weren't they? I feel like that was like the last set that was
I think so, yeah.
that was like before they did special edition bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But the widescreen one, I think, had Darth Vader on one
Mm-hmm.
side, but it was all black, and it had like, I want to say it was like a blue foil for all the
Gotcha.
type.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
It was nice for a VHS set. Yeah, I mean that's definite. That's that's the top of the list right there.
I mean,
But,
yeah.
I think, yeah, I mean, you take that out
Mhm.
for sure. And mine, I actually think, would be the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Because I went in not caring about Lord of the Rings, not caring about hobbits, not caring about fantasy shit, because, like, people forget to that point, like, that was just like a cursed movie genre. Like, there were some that people liked, but there were none that were just like universally good.
Conan the First is like probably one of the only generally considered like this is fucking good. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and maybe even like to
And
some
that's-
people were like dumb. They thought it was dumb too. But yeah.
And that's almost 20 years before Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings. You know, like, and to be able to go back and just have that experience of like, holy shit, like these movies are actually good, and they're like not just good, they're like all-time fucking amazing good. And you know, to be able to sit down and go through all three and, you know, have that experience again, I think would be amazing. And it's not like the surprise of anything, like, you know, like, oh my God, the twists. It wouldn't be any of that. It would just be like that entire experience, like not realizing that exists and then suddenly having like this entire world of awesome.
Yeah.
I think would be
I mean,
super cool.
Like other, cheap answers that we've said lots of times is redo Fast Five, redo
Yeah.
Pacific Rim, redo John Wick. I
Yeah,
personally would
John
like.
Wick.
I mean, it didn't mess with my expectations, but like 100% meeting them on every conceivable level is like I would want to every day have the Baby Driver experience, where I was fucking. I was vibrating. I mean,
I remember that. Yeah.
I was just like, this is fucking. This is my everything. Like, this is everything to me. So, yeah. I mean, these are the things I would want to go back and redo. The South Park movie. I want to go back and have that experience a billion times. Like the first time, like seeing that in the theater.
Yeah, I was gonna say like doing the Matrix, the original one again, because now it's such a common thing
Sure.
in culture. But like people forget, like they didn't say what the fuck was going on in that movie at all in the trailers or anything.
Nope.
All they had was nobody can be told what the Matrix is. You have to experience it for yourself. Like Shenyun, it's like you gotta go to it before you know what it is. And
Yeah.
and people were like good about not spoiling it either.
There's one, and I haven't seen it, but I would like to go back to a time before I got spoiled on The Sixth Sense so that I could watch it. I would
Yeah.
like the Men in Black Mind Eraser for The
You're not
Sixth
missing
Sense.
much.
I know, but
I know.
I miss the zeitgeist.
Sure.
I would
know.
I would love to redo the experience I had seeing that because my mom and I went. I don't know why she was in town, but we went to AMC Regency, and it was a absolutely packed theater opening night.
Oh,
And
man.
I just remember there's a point where the ring hits the floor, and this lady behind me goes, "Oh hell no, no!" And then everyone realizes what's going on, and I'll never forget that lady just being like, no. And I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
this is the stuff.
I just want to go back. I want to continually. Like if they always say like you get like locked into like a single memory. What was that? Oh, it was in Kids in the Hall, Brain Candy. They're like they take that pill and it just like plays your happiest memory on a loop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it was like my happiest memory. I want to have on a loop that kid's mind being blown during Pacific Rim. Like I want that. I know I've had experiences like that, but I'm old and I don't remember them. But like I want to have that joy on a loop in my head of like my mind just got fucking blown. Like that just wow. It's like yeah, kid, that was fucking rad.
That's great. I think in a similar vein to Star Wars, I would have to say Alien as well.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Especially not knowing any of the cast either. Like not knowing who became famous or anything after.
Right.
I think would be great.
Yeah, if I could just experience that blank, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Like, I'm just looking at my movie shelf over here, and like, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Pulp Fiction,
That'd be cool.
Independence Day. I mean, stupid as it is, like I came out of Independence Day like, fuck yeah. I mean, I hope everybody did. Like that was,
Yeah,
That's
just
I'm just
fucking
saying,
awesome.
like now it's like that's another thing where it's just like that has been, Austin Powers to death, where it's just like fuck Independence Day. I don't even give a shit about it anymore. But that first experience was just like, fuck yeah.
Oh man, if you go back or if you just pop in Independence Day and watch it on its own and just kind of zen out and forget everything that surrounds it, that movie still fucking rules.
Oh, it's a great movie. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying it's one of those things that's like it became so, it played on television 20 times a day on some channel somewhere that everyone saw everything about it, and
Ooh, like Bulletproof Monk.
yes,
That's one I haven't referenced in a while.
and I think I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask it again. Is that the one with Mira Sorvino?
Bulletproof Monk?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
There's one where it's like I want to say it's
what
like Jet Li and Mira Sorvino teamed up.
Oh no, this is the one with Stifler and
Jet Li? Or no, that's Chow Yun Fat. Chow Yun Fat.
Chow
You're
Yun
right. Yes,
Fat,
you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're thinking of Replacement Killers.
Okay. Was that also Chow Yun Fat or was that Jet Li? Did I just fucking do it again?
Shit. Now I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, there are certain movies like that it's like, I think Mira Sorvino will be more famous forever because of, like, the movie that plays on repeat on FX forever. You know what I mean? It's like, she may have been in, like, bigger movies or whatever. And it's just like, it's always funny to me when there's, like, some actor or whatever. It's just like, that will be the thing they're most known for because it's, like, played on a fucking loop somewhere.
Yeah. I want to mention what Kyle says in the chat about the current discussion, because Kyle actually gets to see his question answered. Usually he's late.
Okay.
But he says, I get slices of this now. My 18-year-old daughter is watching movies with me. I get to see the pure reactions. I got to appreciate the first Saw again without the cloud of the sequels by watching her react to the ending. And that's one way that you can sort of relive your first experience is, like, take the movies that you love and foist them onto people. I've done that with a couple movies here recently.
I thought you were suggesting that we procreate, like, so that you can
nobody
force your
should have children.
regrets and everything upon your children.
No, and
Oh, okay.
I was just using Kyle as sort of a slant example.
I was just cautioning against a black swan situation, so that's all.
Yeah. I don't recommend procreating for most people.
Okay.
But
It's a fun process, though.
Yeah.
Practicing is good.
Practice.
I endorse
practice all you want.
but
It's just like you
but,
want to do all
like-
the war exercises, but you don't actually want to declare a war,
right,
Yeah.
right. So show people movies that you love, and you can sort of live vicariously through them, especially if they haven't seen them. A couple more from my shelf, like Scott Pilgrim. I would love to see that for the first time one more time. And Xanadu and the Apple, like, especially Xanadu. I'd love to see Xanadu again for the first time and just get to be bowled over by the what the fuckness of that movie.
I think we were all just in shock when we recorded that episode because we were like, what just happened? And I think Zark was here for it, and he's just like, I think he was the only one who wasn't 100% on board.
Yeah.
Because I seem to remember that, but I think all the rest of us were like, I don't know what that was, but it kind of fucking ruled, I think. Like, my brain can't figure it out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Yeah.
Good times.
But yeah, it would be nice to erase my memory of episode 1, but then not experience it again for the first time. I would love to.
Our
honestly,
episode
though,
1 or Star Wars episode 1?
Star Wars episode
Okay.
1.
I mean,
It's
because our
actually
episode is
worse
one
than
is-
our episode 1.
Our episode 1's pretty bad too.
Both versions of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Oh, and Patrick in the chat has a good example. He said, "I've shown people Psycho. They were blown away because they didn't know a thing about the story. Not to mention the ending. Good times." And yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one's like the original rug pull movie.
Yeah. I wish I could see that without having, there are a lot of movies like that where they just exist in the, in the sort of cultural conversation.
Everyone knows
and
it.
Yeah, and you can't help but know about it.
Yeah.
And you can't help but know how it goes, and so you don't get that. You don't get any surprise. Now, sometimes you do. Every once in a while, you manage to squeak one out. But yeah, I would like to do that with a lot of movies that I haven't watched, just because I'm like, all right, well, I already know how it ends. Whatever. Not important.
Yeah, but
They'll always have Paris.
yeah, but jumping back real quick to episode 1 and Harlow's, talking about like favorite, like reliving a favorite memory.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, being in line for the preview showing and just how excited all of us that were in that line were, because not only were we like getting to see the first actual Star Wars movie in 16 years at that point, but also just like all the hope and excitement and like feeling as cool as we were because we were seeing it 10 days earlier than like the entire world, and like still not believing the luck that we had that we were actually in that line. There's something awesome about that level of anticipation and fun, and then how I was literally changed afterward because like it like destroyed hope. Like that movie was so bad. It was just like genuinely like it didn't allow me to get that excited about a movie ever again. And that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But it's like, and that's, when people say, oh, it ruined my childhood, it didn't ruin your childhood. Your childhood still exists. But it probably did ruin that sense of getting super excited.
The rest of your life.
Well, it's like, it ruins that feeling of waiting for Christmas. And then, you don't, then Christmas is canceled, like it genuinely fucked with my head from that point forward. I was just like, how was it that bad? How did this happen? Like, how could this honestly happen? And yeah.
Rick McCallum.
Yep.
Yeah. I am in the Kyle's in the chat saying that he remembers lying to himself after that it was good, and I was in that camp too. I was like, lightsaber fights were amazing, pod racing was super fucking cool.
I told
Like,
you guys my
how is-
story with that, right? Like what I did on episode 1 opening day.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I went to the midnight
you-
showing, or whatever they
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
I bought 2 tickets for the following day. Like I went with another group of people twice again. So I saw it 3 times within like a
Ooh.
24-hour span. And so like the first time I did that, like I came out and was like, yeah, the pod racing and man, that lightsaber fight at the end is real good. And the second time it's like, oh man, that's really not good, is it? And then by the third time it was just like, fuck, that's bad. That's bad Star Wars. Yeah.
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 I mean, it was deflating because, like, meeting up with the person that I was going the third time, I was just like,
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, man, I can't lie to you. Like, it's not good. Like, I don't want to fuck with your head, but I've seen it twice now, and I'm just trying I'm trying to help you here. Like, set your expectations.
Yeah. When people found out I had gone for 10 days, all I could say was, the pod race is cool, the lightsaber fights are cool, but you really need to lower your expectations. And they're like, what do you mean? It's Star Wars. And I was like, you really need to lower your expectations.
Okay, so I have a quick story, Star Wars story that will end on a high note.
Okay, good.
Because the most hyped I think I've been about Star Wars with a great payoff would have been when the special editions came out, and I got tickets to see it opening night, and it was fucking amazing. Got all that standing in line, like an hour of standing in line, like the prequels. It's all Star Wars fans. We're all there. We're all hyped up. We're all ready to go. Only there wasn't a massive letdown like there was in the prequels. Get in. I think it was a midnight showing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 11 o'clock. You get in line with the other 200 huge nerds. Half of them are dressed up. There are a bunch of people with lightsaber toys and shit. And that was like the biggest nerd experience I think I'd had at that point in my life. Was in that line, and my sister's boyfriend or husband at the time. I can't remember what part of the timeline that was, but yeah, like he got us tickets, and we went to see it, and getting to see Star Wars in the theater for the first time at a midnight showing with a hyped up crowd, and the special editions we talk shit about them, but
it was seeing him in a theater.
Yeah, seeing it in a theater.
I didn't realize like some of the jokes
and
people laugh at.
Yeah, and in high definition, not on the 27-inch CRT in the living room,
Yeah, 240p or 240i. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's what a VHS tape is.
Exactly. That was such a huge, monumental experience, and I wouldn't mind living that one over again, because that was really fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to see the other two as well. That was awesome.
Wait, you went to like all of them time?
No.
Oh, you're just saying yeah. Cause
eventually we got to see.
Was it like
every 3 weeks?
Yeah, I was gonna say like it was like a month apart or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I didn't get the tickets to opening night for
Empire being the best of the special editions too. I mean,
yeah,
I'm saying it has the least egregious. Like it really doesn't have anything particularly egregious in it. Like episodes 1's got the dumb stepping on Jabba's tail bullshit, and Greedo shooting first, and the third one's got the fucking atrocious musical sequence in Jabba's palace. Yeah.
I didn't even notice the Han shot first debacle. That's how hyped I was.
Gotcha.
Didn't even notice it. But yeah, that was a great time. Back when life was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unlike this unfettered mess we have now. Anyway, do we have any more questions? I think we're
tapped out.
Nice. Well, this has been a good variety hour.
Variety hour.
Yeah. We will probably end up doing another one of these, or 2 or 3. So if you have further questions for us, if you didn't manage to get a question in, email us, bmf@bmfcast.com, tweet us at bmfcast, or give us a call on the Garfield phone, 910-5JOCKS-BMF, or 910-556-9263. If you just want to interact with our content in general, check out bmfcast.com. That is where all of it lives. And if you love what we do and you want to help keep the lights on and keep the servers running and keep us in bad movies, check us out at patreon.com/bmfcast. That's where we will allow you to give us money on a monthly basis, and we give you some cool-ass content in return, including things like Doctor Who U, BMFcast Extra, and the new Bond Recap podcast, We Have All the Time in the World, starring me and my friend Jens.
Wow, that was like a very professional contact information read.
I know.
Did you write all that down?
No, I didn't. It just came to me. Chuck should probably clip that out and use it.
Yeah, just use that every time.
We've said that like 3 or 4 times now.
I know.
I think you're just getting good at it.
That was like no fluff.
I'm always trying to make jokes, and I decided not to make any jokes this time.
And I didn't interrupt you, so it was like you're on a roll.
Know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to interrupt you because it frustrates you. So
that's a
good reason to do it. Yeah.
Good reason to continue doing it forever and ever, and I'll never resent you for it.
Yeah, I know you won't. We always interrupt each other. We finish each other's sandwiches.
You didn't even let me interrupt you with sandwiches. Damn it. Anyway.
Yep. A thing that everyone thinks is a Frozen joke, but it's really a Joss Whedon joke. And maybe even a joke before that. Yep.
Oh, do people think that's from Frozen?
Yeah. I mean, it is in Frozen, but it was in an episode
Right.
of Buffy first, and it's probably
Yeah.
even a joke before that. So, anyway. All right, well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's.
Okay.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and this is BMFcast Variety Hour. Away!
Wow.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop recording in 3.
Somewhere between Krusty and Jerry Lewis.
Jesus Christ.
I bet Jerry Lewis is a bit more crusty than Krusty now.
Oh. Quarantine Cast 43.
Yes.
There we go. Saving my project data file.
Oh.
Thank you. Thanks for sending in all the good questions.
All right, we're gonna get a puppy sighting in a minute.
Oh shit.
She wants to be. I hear her at the door.
Oh, well, we're probably not because you have your virtual background on, but...
Yeah. We had a bunch of really good questions come in, like fucking gunfire immediately as soon as we posted that. So appreciate that. Gave us something to talk about for an hour and 53 minutes today. Oh, look at the puppy.
Hit the mic. Don't
That
hit
is-
the mic.
That's
Eat
the
mic.
content we need.
Look, it's in autumn, right in the middle of winter.
Oh, Tom.
Autumn. Are you freaking out?
Oh, she's so cute.
Where'd her head go? What did you do to her head?
What are you doing, Bob?
That's so cute.
Kona wants to be up here too. He's like, hey.
I had to renew my lease or sign my new lease. Yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I was trying to talk my landlord into letting me have a dog. And it didn't happen.
Aw.
I'm disappointed, yeah. And then today, my friend who works for the Humane Society, of course, sends us a couple pictures and a video of the cutest little, like, 40-pound pit. Oh, just the cutest little dog. And I'm like, no, stop sending me these. I'm trying to get over the fact that my landlord told me once again that I can't have a dog. Quit it.
Boo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Knobs is asking in the chat if you. He apparently mailed a package to the studio.
Oh, shit.
So Harlow may have to check his mail at some point
Okay.
this week.
What size thing?
It's
am I
a
looking for?
movie,
Okay.
so not too big. Hopefully, it would still fit in the. Does yours have like one of those separate boxes where they put packages?
Yeah. But I mean,
Okay.
my mail slot is like nice and wide. It's like at least
Yeah, it
you,
is.
you can fit a magazine flat in it. Is what I'm saying. Like it's one of
Sweet.
the. It's not one of those like half size ones.
Yeah.
A magazine.
I,
Remember those?
Yeah.
A catalog.
Yeah.
I still get Uline catalogs, so I think.
Oh God, Uline.
nice.
Holy shit.
I love looking through the Uline catalog.
Yeah. I do miss that from the old job was trying to like basically getting the free one because we'd order so much you'd get a free thing.
A
So
free,
I got
like item?
like a lot of it was like sports related.
Yeah.
You know, like a new hat or T-shirt. And
Well,
eventually, like we got to like the big
Hello?
folding chair things. You know, the ones that
Nice.
pack up into a bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those
so
are good stuff.
not directly the ones that are on my head right now, but the predecessors to these headphones that I paid for the upgrade / replacement were because my mom's company had like, I don't know, AT&T or whatever phone service, and you know, like had reward point things that they accumulated for all their fucking lines and stuff, and no one ever used them. And so like I got a hold of the catalog one day. I was like, I'll take some of those Bose Quiet Comfort things if you've got the points. So yeah,
Nice.
I mean those
That's
were
awesome.
those were 2s. These are 15s, I think. I don't, you know, but I like they got fucked up and they offered me like a. $80 trade-in or something, like send us the old ones and we'll send you these. So,
Sweet.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I have a couple things. I've got a Bose set of stereo or computer speakers somewhere that were from that too. They had nice stuff. I mean, like, like high quality gifts, for turning in your points. It was like, very fancy version of green stamps. Yeah, there you go. There's Chuck's old man alarm reference that I'm not recording for, but it's on the live stream. Does anyone else remember green stamps? Anyone else old enough to remember those?
I know what they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if...
No, they didn't have those where you...
So, things I remember Turtles had stamps
Uh-huh.
where, if you collected like 10 or 20 stamps, you could get a free... I think it was either any free CD or cassette that was not a new release.
Yeah, I remember that. Green stamps were a grocery store thing. I don't think they were brand specific. I think it was like Simon Malls. Well, no, that's actually they own shit, but more like they came into like Publix, Winn-Dixie, Kroger, all the different people, and were like, we'll offer this rewards program basically. And so every time you check out, based on how much you spent in groceries, you got X number of green stamps, and you would fill them up in a book, and basically how many pages or books you filled up, you could take them to the place and exchange them for things.
A toaster.
Yeah, a toaster, appliance, or blender, or whatever. There. There's your... I'm old, and I remember dumb things. I remember going to the green stamps, whatever, Redemption Center, or whatever the hell they call that. Like they had a place where you could actually go and like look at the blenders and stuff. Almost like the Dave and Buster's. Like, all right, I've got 72,000 tickets. What can I get?
Right. That's funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of packages, we also have a package from Jens.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a studio thing that we'll have to put up in the studio.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
All right. I will go check the mail momentarily.
Oh no, I have a package at my house.
You have a package.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. He just sent it to me because he has my address, and I knew I'd be home to receive it. So, I was going to surprise you guys with it, and I still will whenever we end up back in the studio. But now that you know, there's a surprise coming.
Sweet.
I can prepare myself.
Yes.
I love being prepared for surprises.
I can make my body ready.
I like being prepared for surprises too.
All right,
That
so
way I
I'm
can-
I have to ask.
uploading my WAV file.
I want to ask one like philosophical question, if you will, related to the
Sure.
questions we were asked. Like, so spoilers for things. Like, is that similar to like peeking at presents at Christmas? I mean, I feel like. I mean, and also like I think the question was like, I assume you did it at some point in your life, right? I mean, everybody did, right?
No, I never did.
You never did?
I did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did one Christmas, and then like I remember being so supremely disappointed that I had done that I basically like taught myself a lesson. Like
Yeah, that's how I ruined Christmas for myself.
Yeah,
I found my Voltron, and
yeah,
then Voltron came, and I was like, oh,
yeah. I'm pretty sure
okay.
I ruined it because I got Devastator one year, and my mom had managed to find all of the individual ones, not the collection box.
Yeah.
And so like I was still super excited, but like I had to feign excitement the day of or whatever, and it was like, I was just like saying I kind of, it's funny that you did it with Voltron, I did it with Devastator, but robots that form together.
Yep.
It should have been backwards. Like I fucking love Voltron and you love Transformers. But anyway, yeah, I think it's like I taught myself that lesson that day of like, spoilers suck. So I just was curious because like I feel like that's like a philosophical, like, I kind of taught myself that.
Yeah, my parents either did a good job of hiding it or hiding all the stuff, or I think what they did, because my parents are taught me the fine arts of procrastination, so
When do they teach you that?
they still haven't.
Oh, okay.
They're working on it. Yeah. But I think that they did all their shopping like on Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve and left everything in the trunk.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to know. I always wanted to be surprised.
Yeah. Well, you have siblings. Like were you, I can't remember where you're placed. Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest.
Yeah. So they
but
had experience. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like, they probably got good at hiding shit by then. I didn't have any, siblings, so
Yeah, but also I don't remember looking for them at all,
okay.
ever. There would be some stuff that would be wrapped and put out before Christmas. There's just a smattering of presents under the tree.
Yeah.
But also they were big on doing the, like, put a pile of unwrapped presents out front with just tags
this
on
is
them.
from Santa.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. Like I said, I feel like that's, somewhere in your subconscious, it's like it's a very similar thing to like knowing the end of a movie or game or book or whatever.
Yeah. I don't want to go search it out. I enjoy it. I like being prepared for a surprise. ready to be surprised, mystified.
Yeah.
No, it's not the same cat, by the way. It's a different cat. They both have cats.
Who's got a cat?
It's just a conversation going on in the live stream chat. I just didn't word something perfectly, and people are busting my balls over it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I technically can't have a cat either. So I do have a small Hawaiian red shrimp though.
Yeah. Well,
It's hard to show. It's hard to get it on camera though.
Yeah.
I can go get it if you want.
It's okay. I know.
If you want to look at it.
So you can't have a cat either. I was going to give you one if you want it.
Which one?
Which one?
Dealer's choice.
Are you fucking done with them?
No, I feel like they would both individually be happier away from each other.
Those poor things.
Yeah.
I mean, I would take either. I like both of your cats. Except for which one chews on cords? That's BMFcast Senior, right?
Yeah, I think that's her MO. She hasn't done that in a long time, but
okay.
Yeah, and you're probably safe because it's mostly only Apple cords. Like she loves fucking Apple cords. Like I don't know what it is. Like the coating on the headphones. Like she will destroy a pair of wired earbuds in fucking 30 seconds flat. Like she killed somebody's. Like somebody had them in their purse or backpack or something, and it was just like just fucking went right over to him. I was like, what the hell?
I have my Pixel earbuds. They feel identical to the iPhone, but I don't give a shit about these.
Yeah.
So. Maybe your cat, maybe one of your cats can come over for a little while.
Yeah, maybe she's an Android. Only gonna eat all the Apple products.
Yeah, there you go.
Sideboard cat. All right,
let's get out of here, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm Harlow.
I'm not.
And I'm Slappy.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Stopping the stream.